program you are about to see is based on the work and ideas of Ellie Trimis, artist and lecturer in preschool education in the Early Childhood Education Department at Aristotle University in Saloniki, Greece. Through her slides, Ellie illustrates her active learning approach to exploring and creating with paper. These art activities involve young children in the high-scope creative representation key experiences, making models out of clay, blocks, and other materials, and drawing and painting. The slides we have chosen for this presentation allow us to see how art experiences designed by Ellie support the development of children's in-depth work with paper over time. The slides show children, teachers, and student teachers from the Children's Center affiliated with the Early Childhood Education Department at Aristotle University in Saloniki, and from other preschool settings in and around Saloniki. It is important to note that in the Greek preschool classrooms shown in these slides, one teacher works with all of the children. She introduces a paper experience to the whole group. Then children select the materials they need and break into groups to work. In a high-scope preschool setting, however, adults work in teams and introduce paper experiences to children at small group time. In both types of settings, art materials are also available in the art area for children to work with every day at work time. And children work with paper at outside time in warm weather. High-scope teachers may also include art experiences during recall and large group times. There are 5 parts to this presentation. Why work with paper? Using paper as a surface for drawing, painting, and collage. Exploring and exploiting the 3-dimensional qualities of paper. Creating with crepe paper. And ways to support young artists. Paper is plentiful throughout our society in manufacturing, commerce, and art. It surrounds children in their daily lives at home, in school, and in public places. Children are familiar both with paper in sheet form and 3-dimensional objects made of paper. They experience functional paper like these storage boxes, and paper that serves as a medium for artistic expression and communication. As an art material, paper presents limitless possibilities based on its unique characteristics and properties. Paper is easy to cut, tear, fold, twist, roll, compress, and mold. It makes noise. It varies in texture, grain, weight, absorbency, and opacity. For young children, the appealing qualities of paper invite manipulation and exploration, and inspire 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional expression. Recyclable scrap paper provides an inexpensive medium for children's exploration and creativity. While most early childhood settings provide children with newsprint and colored paper, adults are more likely to encourage children to use paper as a surface for painting and drawing, rather than as a medium for construction. The goal of this video is to illustrate the tremendous range of experiences that are possible when children use paper both for drawing and painting, and to create 3-dimensional forms and models. The versatility of paper permits children to meet their needs for personal expression at their own levels of development. Paper can be used as a drawing and painting surface for a variety of media, including pencils, markers, crayons, oil pastels, watercolors, finger paints, and tempera paints. Paper can also be used as a surface for collages made with materials such as paper, sand, leaves and other natural materials, and yarn. Although fine-grained and smooth papers are best for crayon and pencil drawing, and sturdy absorbent papers are more suitable for brush painting, children need to explore and create with many types and colors of paper. Newspaper, craft paper, glazed paper, photocopy paper, butcher paper, cardboard, cellophane, and tissue paper. Each type of paper presents different problems for children to solve in their own creative ways. Children often need to make several attempts before they are satisfied with their creations. So it is important to provide enough paper to allow for this type of experimentation. Through trial and error, children discover how particular kinds of paper behave in combination with the selected drawing medium. For example, children will find that papers vary in the amount of paint they absorb. That markers glide easily on smooth surfaces. And that white paint on blue craft paper creates a striking contrast. Children find that the color of paper, its texture, and size suggest possibilities to try, and at the same time, set limits for its use. As children explore paper and drawing media, it is important to support their creativity as it emerges in response to the materials, rather than expecting children to use the materials to make cute decorative objects. The 6 sequences of art experiences presented next were designed by Ellie Trimis to engage children in an in-depth exploration of the 3-dimensional properties of paper. They are not presented as recipes or directions for children to follow, but rather as examples of how, through exploration and adult support, children learn about the characteristics of paper and develop the skills they need to shape and arrange it. Each paper sequence begins with play and exploration and develops in stages based on children's discoveries and creative ideas. Children use their fingers to tear before cutting with scissors, and activities move from inexpensive paper to more costly paper, from newsprint and white paper to colored paper, and from pliant paper to stiff paper. This progression from simple materials and actions to more complex and demanding ones gives children the opportunity to experience and compare the nature and behavior of different types of paper at their own levels of development. Folding, crumpling, tearing, and gluing newspaper. The teacher opens the activity by suggesting, let's see what we can do with newspaper. You might like to fold it or crumple it. Children try folding their newspaper and putting it on their heads. They crumple it tightly into balls. They try tearing. As they look at their torn shapes, they see familiar objects. Mine looks like a bird. Hey, this looks like a dinosaur. This paper makes a lot of noise, they comment. Next, the children try tearing, cutting, and folding strips of newspaper. I see you made a circle, the teacher says. I wonder what would happen if you held it up by one end. Another discovery. The paper gets even longer when you glue other pieces to it. Several children figure out a way to make bridges with their newspaper strips and little glue. Other children experiment with twisting and draping. As they continue their experimentations, some children combine paper strips and balls and give names to their creations. An octopus, a broom, a bird, a crab, a pineapple, and an apron. Folding, cutting, rolling, gluing, and drawing on thin white paper. In this art experience, children explore a different type of paper. They begin by taking on the teacher's challenge. I wonder, what can you do when you fold thin white paper? Here's what they discovered. You can fold paper to create a fan, a bag with a handle, and a book of animal drawings. Christina colors her bag handle orange, while Alexander has decorated his white bag with white paper and shapes he has drawn with brown marker. Other children use scissors and sometimes markers to create snowflakes. The tower of a local castle. A couch. A white mask. A decorated mask. A camera. An airplane. Binoculars. And a crown. The teacher offers another challenge. How can you make paper stand? The children solve this problem in a variety of ways. Creating story props from craft paper, tag board, construction paper, glazed paper, tissue paper, and crepe paper. One day, after hearing the teacher read The Pied Piper of Hamelin, the children and their teacher discussed props and stage scenery they could make from paper for their story reenactment. Their first problem is standing up the long sheet of white craft paper they have selected for the front of the house. You will see in later slides how they taped the house front to movable pieces of furniture. To represent the house in the story, which is covered with tiles, the children roll, fold, cut, and glue colored tag board and construction paper, devising many ways to make the tiles. And attach them to the front wall of the house. The house also needs a red roof. The children find it more difficult to hang up the second long sheet of paper than it was to hang up the first. They cut a hole in the wall so the mice in the story can go in and out of the house. How can we make ourselves look like mice, a cat, and the story people is the next problem the children tackle. Some children cut, glue, and twist paper to make wearable mouse tails and ears. While others create masks. Different ideas for flowering bouquets emerge. Of course, we'll need some decorated bags. This child fits a blue piece of tissue paper around her waist to make a skirt, which she decorates with yellow glazed paper bows. This child's ensemble combines a variety of papers and ideas. Props completed, the children act out the story. Making structures that stand using plain and colored tagboard and construction paper. During this art experience, children use tagboard, construction paper, glue, and tape to create structures that stand. A plain house, a house with colorful details, a neighborhood. Some children experiment with thin, rolled structures, each with a different kind of roof. Children create their own color schemes. Here's a house with a blue-green chimney. Here's an orange chimney with blue smoke. Note also the green tunnel structure and the decorated blue silo. Each child solves the problem of making structures that stand in a different way, so each structure is unique. Making three-dimensional people from thin white paper. Here are some of the people children created one day by folding, crumpling, twisting, tearing, and cutting thin white paper. After completing their people's sculptures, they are pleased by the effect of arranging them on red paper as relief collages. Making story character mobiles from a variety of papers. Another day, the children used cellophane, glazed paper, tissue paper, and crepe paper to make characters and objects from a favorite fairy tale. They also figure out ways to hang their creations on cardboard tubes to make mobiles. Although the teacher offers the same challenge to all the children, I wonder, how could you use these papers to make something from the magic forest? Children act on the challenge individually, following their own ideas and imaginations. In the next series of art experiences, children explore the possibilities of using long, wide crepe paper strips as a medium for drawing and sculpting. On the terrace outside their school, children choose a crepe paper color. Using the terrace as a drawing surface, some children use the crepe paper strips to make lines and crosses, while others make a house they can get inside of. And a boat to travel on. When a breeze comes along, they sit on their crepe paper drawing to keep it from blowing away. I wonder if you could put all your papers together, their teacher says. The children decide to arrange their crepe paper strips side by side. Some children call their creation a rug. Others call it a flag. I wonder, how could you change this rug or flag, their teacher asks. The children make up a game, carrying their strips of paper from one end of their representation to the other. They also enjoy lifting up their crepe paper strips to catch the wind and experiencing the paper's lightness and elasticity. At their teacher's suggestion, some of the children head down the beach to the sea with their crepe papers billowing out behind them, while the others watch from the terrace to see the colorful curving lines the crepe paper strips make in the breeze. The children on the terrace join their peers on the beach and form pairs again, holding a strip of crepe paper between them. They talk with their teacher about the colors they see in the sky, the clouds, the sea, the sand, and the boats, and about how some of these colors match the colors of their crepe papers. Then the children explore the kinds of lines they can make with their crepe paper, and ways to make their paper move like birds, the sea, a boat, or the wind. Back on the terrace, the teacher presents another challenge. I wonder if you could find a way to twist your crepe papers. Pairs of children take up the twisting challenge, twisting one way and then in the opposite direction. "We could make a net," one child exclaims. As they work, the children notice the other net created by the crepe paper net's shadow on the terrace. Another day, the children draw with the remaining crepe paper on the floor of their classroom. Some children twist and crumple their papers. Other children lay them out flat. And others combine twisted and flat papers. In this case, the twisted circles are portholes, while the blue and white papers are the sea with waves. This red creature in the sea is a fish. These children make a different kind of boat accompanied by purple and green fish. Because the children were so eager to get into their crepe paper boats, their teacher provided them with cardboard boxes several days later. Using crepe paper along with other kinds of paper, they decorate their boxes to make houses. And boats. In another preschool setting, children freely explore crepe paper outdoors. Some children turn their strips of crepe paper into sleeping mats. While others twist and crumple paper to draw sky scenes and trees. And to decorate a tree. The village where these children live is known for weaving and shops that sell rugs, pillows, and other woven items. Before engaging in the weaving process, children visit local shops and weavers, then work with smaller pieces of crepe paper, glazed paper, and construction paper to create their own designs for mats, rugs, and pillows. Some of their creations reflect the traditions and the designs they see in everyday life. Another day, the children make their first attempts at weaving. As you plan small group times around the 2- and 3-dimensional qualities of paper and support young children as they work with paper, it is important to keep the following strategies in mind. Provide children with a wide variety of paper, beginning with lightweight white paper and moving to heavier colored paper. Present paper experiences in sequences that begin with exploration and move from simple materials and actions to more complex and demanding ones. For example, encourage children to fold, crumple, and tear newspaper before expecting them to create 3-dimensional newspaper people. Use paper along with the children. Try out their ideas. Converse with children about the types of paper they use. Offer choices and challenges to children that encourage them to explore and work with the possibilities each type of paper offers. Let's see what we can do with newspaper. I wonder what would happen if you held it up by one end. How could you make paper stand? How could we use paper to make ourselves look like mice, a cat, and the story people? I wonder if you could put all your papers together. I wonder if you could find a way to twist your long crepe papers. Converse with children about the visual graphic elements, lines, colors, forms you see in their work, and how they have arranged these elements. For example, looking at this piece, you might begin a conversation with a comment such as, "I see 2 columns of colored lines," and then listen to the child's response. Or you might begin with the comment, "I see you glued shapes on some of the lines and shapes between some of the lines," and listen to what the child has to say about his or her work. Plan outdoor paper experiences. Converse with children about the colors, lines, forms, and textures they see around them and the corresponding qualities in their papers. Encourage creativity by providing children with different types and sizes of paper, and by taking them places where paper is made, used, recycled, or exhibited. These children, for example, visit a local art exhibit by the Greek artist Pavlos. Ask children to bring in paper. Converse with them about the paper they find at home and in their neighborhoods. Exhibit the children's work with paper so they can enjoy, discuss, and reflect on their creations. Support children's creativity and value their ideas and unique solutions to the problems Working with Paper presents. For further discussion and strategies for supporting the creative representation key experiences, making models out of clay, blocks, and other materials, and drawing and painting, see the High Scope Preschool Manual, Educating Young Children, Chapter 10, Creative Representation.